Hey, what's up guys, welcome to another tutorial of PHP and MySQL series, and in today's video I'm going to teach you some best practices you have to keep in mind while building PHP web applications. So first of all, I will create a new file here like best practices.php, and here I will create PHP opening tag, and here I will type always use PHP correct opening and correct closing tag. You can use this technique, but you should avoid using other PHP opening and closing tag. So the first suggestion is always use the correct PHP opening and PHP closing tag. The next thing you have to keep in mind is write proper PHP comments. When you will start building PHP applications, try to write proper comments about your program. If you will miss this part, it will create a difficulty for you when you will see your code again, maybe after 6 months or after 1 year. And if you are working on long-term applications, it will become difficult for you to understand your own code. Also, if you are collaborating with each other, it will also create difficulty for your teammate developers, that and they will find difficulty to understand that what your code actually doing is. So when you create new functions in your program, write comment before those functions that what actually that specific function is doing. When you create some variables, or maybe when you solve a specific program, maybe when you solve a specific problem with logic, you can also write comment before that what was the problem and what actually logic you have write to solve that problem. And believe me, this is one of the most important part of the programming. Try to write proper comments in your PHP programs. The next thing is do not repeat your code. If you think that some work of your application is doing again and again, do not write that code again and again. Instead, you can create a specific function for that. Maybe in your application, in your e-commerce application, suppose you are fetching data from database and displaying on your website. You can simply do one thing. You can write function that will get query and display products, and you can use that function in search page. You just have to change query that what actually your user is searching. You can also use that function in the home page to display some popular or trending products. And by using this technique, you can use one function at multiple places. It will help you to do not repeat your code, because if you will write the same code again and again, the difficulty will become is, suppose you have to change a one thing at specific code, and if you have repeat that code in multiple places of your application, then you have made those changes in all of your files. So say it will also help you to save your time. So must keep in mind that do not repeat your code. The next thing is, if you think that your application will take more time to build, like maybe you are building some project for big companies or for yourself, maybe you are working on a startup, try to use object oriented programming technique. Don't rely on this core PHP. If you will use that object oriented programming technique, it will help you to maintain your code. No matter how much big your application will be, the object oriented programming will help you to maintain your code, and it have other benefits. We have not learned object oriented programming in this course, but still you can learn more about classes and objects and other object oriented programming stuff. It will just take you 1 week to learn that, but when you will develop the applications, that your time saving will be a lot. So do not write directly programs in core PHP. I will suggest you to first of all learn object oriented programming and then start your PHP journey. The next technique is use proper naming techniques for variables and functions. There are many naming techniques like Pascal case, snake case, kebab case, and other cases. If we are using a specific case like snake case, try to write your function names and variable names and other stuff in that specific technique. If you will try to use different techniques, maybe you have some maybe 200 functions in your program, and some of them you have write like this, like my function, and this one, and maybe some of your functions will be look like this, like my underscore function, and maybe some of your function you will write like this, my function. So these are same words, but techniques to write these functions are different. You must have to follow only single technique. It will help you to write your code. If you will try to use multiple techniques for the same thing in PHP, it will create problem for you. Maybe if you will remember the name of a specific function, maybe you can remember that the function name is my function. But if you will use different naming techniques in the same program, then you also have to remember that in which technique this function was written by you. So if you will follow only single technique, you only need to remember your that specific variable name or function name, and you don't have to learn the technique naming convention as well with the function or variable name. The next best practice with PHP is practice, practice, practice. You cannot learn PHP by just watching the tutorials. As much programs you will write in PHP, as much you will practice you do, the more you will become best in this programming language. So always, if you are in a company, then I hope you will be building applications. But if you are a beginner and you have start learning PHP, then I must suggest you to build some projects, because when you will build projects, you will find new things, the things that you will unable to learn in the tutorials. You will find new things in programming. The next thing here is read official PHP manual. In these tutorials, you will not find all of the PHP functions and all the other stuff. If you are working on specific problem, you should search on the internet other people's code, and especially PHP manual that is written by official PHP company. So you have to read the PHP manuals to understand about functions and other stuff. The next thing is use version control system. This one is one of my best. When you will start building applications, you have to use a version control system, and the best one is GitHub. You just have to learn one or two tutorials about GitHub, but this will help you to control the version of your code. Now the question is that what is code version? When you will start building an application, you can host your that code in on the GitHub website, and that code will be synced with your local host. And when you will code something, you can push your changes on the live server, and GitHub will take record of all of your that development journey. It will remember that which change was done by you at which time. If you lost your code, or if you lost your hard drive, your code will become safe. You just have to remember your that specific GitHub account, and you can easily access your code from that GitHub website. And it have also other advantages. Maybe some of your old code that was deleted by you, but you want to restore that code will be deleted from your project, but GitHub will store that code as a history, and you can go to that specific part and restore that code from there. So I must recommend you to learn about Git and GitHub. It will take maybe it will take took you 1 day or 2 days to learn this, but still you will find that this tool will help you to write programs more efficiently and to manage your code. Also, you can collaborate with other developers using GitHub, and multiple developers can work on single project using version control system. So friends, these are some of the best practices I have suggest you, and I know that there may be some others that you will find when you will learn and when you will build applications. If you have any question, you can ask us in the comment section. We will try to answer your question, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel and share this video with your those friends who want to learn website development. And finally, thanks for watching.